Hi guys, this is Lisa back with another project from the May Made It cruise, hashtag cruising with May. This project that we did was called Maiden Memories, and we took a folder file jacket that has the pockets on the inside and we upcycled it and we put this beautiful pattern paper on it, and it's big enough to put 8.5 by 11 a sheet of paper or an 8 by 10 photos in here, which was kind of the reason we did this one. So as you can see, it's got a little tuck space on the front, and I kind of show you how to use scraps that's left over on your photo mats. This is just beautiful paper, isn't it? And I will show you the paper pack in just a second on that one. So when it opens up, you can see the file pockets. So you can get these at any office supply store, Walmart type places. And we just matted it with pattern paper. And so as you can see, it's big enough if you buy those big 8 by 10 photos on the cruise. So this is some old photos from a few years ago of my beautiful daughter. Then they will fit perfectly in here. And so big photos like this will not fit, of course, in a mini album. So I thought this would be a cool idea. And so this is those 6 by 8s that they sell on board. It's kind of a strange size, not even a 5 by 7. So anyway, let's get started. We'll show you how we did this. And I do have one kit left from the cruise. And so you have a chance to win that. You must be a YouTube subscriber. And go on over to my Facebook and comment under the picture that you'll see of this project at Half Photos Will Scrapbook. So before we get started, I will show you what comes in the kit. Okay. Maybe. Here we go. So you can see where the name of the class comes from, because this paper is called Sea Maiden. It's by Authentique. Beautiful, beautiful paper pack. Of course, this is 12 by 12. And it's going to come with, I believe, 8 sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is your cut aparts. And then it comes with the file jacket, and then there's a half a sheet here of some die cuts that are cut apart, and then you're going to get some sheets of black cardstock so that you can put match your photos. Here's your matting template for the pocket, and I'll show you what that's for as we do the project. And then you get a couple of pages that's got pictures of the completed project to help you put that together. And of course you'll have this video. So now we will get started. In class, as we got going, I told them to get their pocket matting template and go ahead and cut it out right around the edge just to have the black left over. So what I did for them was, this pocket is kind of a strange angle shape, and it can be quite of a challenge to mat. So I went ahead and drew out a mat for everyone so that we can use this as a template, and we'll cut around that, and then it'll be a perfect mat, and you won't have to try and figure it out. But if you were just going to go buy one, what I did is I just made sure that I had 1/8 of an inch all the way around there. And maybe I'll show a video on exactly how I did that another time. Okay. So I'm going to take all my pieces out, that to the side, and get started here. We will start with matting the front and the back. And these are the papers that we chose. It's got this beautiful mermaid scene on it, and then the back has got this wood grain. So the cover, front and back, was, the mat's going to be 9 by 11 3/8. So we had in class, and I did this one, cut it a tiny bit short. And I'll show you what to do if you ever cut paper a little bit short and you don't want to have to cut another piece of paper, or like in this case, you didn't have another piece of paper that's just like this. So what I do is I try to make it part of my design. So I go into my scraps So if you haven't cut your paper yet, you'll do this at the end. But these are some of my scraps that I had left over. And I just cut 3/4 of an inch strips by 9. So I'm going to glue this down in the center and put those strips on the top and bottom and just kind of make it look like that's exactly what I plan to do all along. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. It's a very strong glue that you can get at MayMayMadeIt.com at her store. I'm just going to glue that down to the front. And like I say, it is a little short. And I did not have another of this piece of paper and really wanted to use it. So I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm just going to put some decorative strips, top and bottom, and make it look like part of the design. Okay, and so now here's the strips that are 9 by 3/4 of an inch. You can put some art glitter glue on here. And I'm going to kind of line this up at the bottom where there's about 1/8 of an inch from the strip to the bottom of the page, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the top, and nobody will ever know that this was a mistake. They will just think that this is how it was designed. Do the same thing here. Make sure I kind of have the same reveal all the way around. There you go. So this is this version, and I'll show you. This is the original. So it's actually kind of a cool design. I kind of like it better. Sometimes that happens. Okay, and so we chose this piece of paper that has this beautiful wood grain. And it's going to be on the back. I like to keep the back of my projects pretty plain, because that's what's kind of get beat up or knocked around, or the back when you're sliding it in and out of something. So I usually don't do a whole lot to the back to keep that from getting damaged. So we can get this kind of centered. Okay, so again, both of these, the front and the back, we're supposed to have the same measurement cuts of 9 inches wide by 11 3/8 tall, and this one was just cut a little short, but still really cute. Put my pen and my art glitter glue, and then I'll show you the next step here. So what we want to do is we want to put this strip here that's just going to be a tuck space. And on the inside, this is going to be covered up by pattern paper once we're finished. You can see it's wrapping around here. So we want to make sure we do this next so that we cover it up on the inside. So remember this paper here. The back of that paper, here's my scrap. The back of that paper is this polka dots. So keep that strip. That's what you're going to use to make this little tuck area. So what I did is that with that black cardstock that you have, it's 8.5 by 11. So you just trim a 1-inch strip off the bottom. So this is 8.5 by 11. It's 8.5 by 1 inch. Just a 1-inch strip off the bottom. And so then I did a 3/4 of an inch strip of what we had left over from the back of this paper, those dots. So that's where I got this piece. So what I'm going to do is wrap this around. I'll show you how we do that. You want to make sure you do not close up your pocket. This is going to come around kind of like so, and I'm going to glue it down to the top of the pocket but not go over, and then I can just trim what's left. And then the bottom will just come around here. Let's see if I can get this right. Okay, like so, and just turn it over until you get the kind of the angle that you're looking for. Okay, I think I am good with the angle of my pocket. Okay, well, I think I'll pull this up a little bit here. Just using a bone folder to get me a good crisp edge. Right, and then I'm going to use my art glitter glue and glue this on really, really well. Give it a little bit of time to dry. Okay, make sure I've still got pretty good alignment here. Not a lot of overhang. And I'm just going to be very careful that I do not glue over the top of that pocket, because it would be easy to do. So I'm just going to pick it up to make for sure that I am not gluing over that pocket. I'm just gluing down here. And like I said before, we're going to trim off the extra that hangs over the pocket. And we're going to be putting pattern paper over the top of the inside to kind of hide these workings here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of glue now that I know more about where it's going to sit. So this just takes a little bit of patience and working with your paper. This is not the quickest part of the project, but it's really, really cute to have this little tuck area. I think you're going to like it. All right, so now I'm just going to take my scissors and trim it up the best I can in the pocket. Fold this together where I can get to it a little better. Okay, just gonna go in little sections and make sure everything looks pretty good. Yep, that's pretty good. So the next step was we're going to mat the inside pockets with pattern paper. Okay, and these are the two that we chose here for this particular pocket page. The inside was right shy of 9 inches. I could not get 9 inches to fit in the pocket, so I cut it at 8 7/8 by 11.5. So 8 7/8 by 11.5 tall. And 7/8 is just 1/8 smaller than 9 inches. So we're going to double check to make sure this fits in here all the way to the bottom so that you kind of have the same reveal all the way around the project. You're going to have this big strip of black here on the edge, and I will show you an option for that. Some people liked having that matte. Some did not, and I liked covering mine up, so I'll show you what you can do there. Okay, so that shows me the paper's cut perfectly. So we can go ahead and glue that down. Again, for this, they are 8 7/8 wide by 11.5 tall for this particular project. And so when you're done with this project, we don't even cut into 3 pieces of paper. It just took 5 of those 12 by 12s. So you have plenty of paper to mat the back of your photos if that's what you desire. And you can use a lot of those cut aparts as decorations, and I'll show you that again, how we did that. And it comes together relatively quick, and it's a very cute way to display larger photos that you might want to buy on a cruise. Okay, I think that looks good there. Now, if you wanted to cover up this black edges, it's going to take a 3/8 of an inch strip. And remember, they were 11 3/8 tall. So what I did was the leftover from these paper, I cut 3/8 of an inch strips, and I'm just going to put the opposite one on the opposite page. So this one that has this fin of the mermaid, like the scales, I'm going to put on this side with the fish, and the fish stripe on this side. And I'm just going to cover up that black strip. And that's just personal preference. I like that. So I'm going to put that down first. And then we're going to mat our pockets. So we had about 20 people in class. And then we had a second class that had about 17 people on the cruise that made these projects. And it went over really well. I think everyone really enjoyed all our classes because we did such different things. Some of us did mini albums. I did this, I did a shaker card. We even did latch hook. That was one of May's first projects she ever remembers doing crafting. So we kind of brought back latch hook, and that was fun. And we did these small diamond dot cards. We made a dove and then put it on a card front. They're so pretty. And they were able to get those done in an hour and a half. So it was a nice way to get started with diamond dots if you ever, wondered about them. So by the way, these strips are not interfering with the pocket at all because this was already closed down here on the side. So you can see there's still a bit of black showing, but not that really large frame sticking out. So like I said, that's personal preference, and I kind of liked having most of that covered up. So now we'll work on our pocket pages. So again, the kit came with a matting template that everyone cut out. So I have mine here. All right, I better put the pin in my glue. Hold on one second, okay. So this is how I decided to do this. I wanted this cute mermaid on the side of my pocket on the right, and then I wanted this really pretty seaweed on the other side. So the right side of the pocket is shaped like this, so this white side up. So I laid it down in the corner with the mermaid, and I drew it out. And this is going to be my left side of the pocket, which is this way. So I took the black side, put it, now I made sure that I did not get on the strip here. Put it right below there and did the same thing, and then just carefully drew that out. So if I do a good job cutting this out, this will exactly map my pockets with 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So the way I like to do this is to cut my straight lines first, and then use my scissors on the curves. So I was very honored that May sat down and took this class on the cruise, and she live streamed it. So if you want to see this actual project that May puts together as we teach, it is on May Made It's YouTube channel, and it's called Crafting and Cruising, I believe, and it says Class with Lisa. I thought that was really nice of her. We had a blast. And then I'm going to cut. I think I'll just do that with my scissors. It'll be a little easier. We did some really fun things that I had never done before. Miss Brenda, that teaches her albums, she always likes to show us at the end of projects what to do with your leftovers, how to use every last scrap, and I think that is such a wonderful idea. We put together flip-flops and waterfall pages, and it was just a lot of fun. It's so much fun to get different people together to craft so you can see different styles. Because a lot of people think that they can only do one type of style, that they're not that type of person. But then when you try it, you may decide that you like it. And you may decide, nope, still not for me, but at least I tried it, and you do know a different technique in case you ever need it one day. Okay, so just erasing my pencil marks. So now, open this back up. So if I've done this pretty close, when I glue that down, that's going to give me a little bit of reveal all the way around. I like to get 1/8 of an inch, but that's like Maymay says, we don't do perfect. Don't want to drive ourselves crazy trying to do perfect. Alright, oh, look how pretty that paper is on the back side too. It's so pretty. I used some of that, this little bitty mermaids, on my matting of some of my photos. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up as best I can. It's a little wonky, not exact, but I am happy with that. That way we got to keep our little mermaid here. And this side, we've got decorative at the top, but we've got this plain area here, and that's what we're gonna kind of build upon with our cut aparts and some die cuts or ephemera that came with it. This paper pack did not come with stickers. It came with just a few ephemera pieces or die cuts that you kind of had to punch out, which is really just enough for this project. It was perfect. Okay, so really the hard work is done. It comes together really, really quick. So now what you can do, I'll go back to this original one. You can take your different die cut pieces and layer them here. This is the 3x4 cards that I have just backed with black cardstock, and then you can put a photo back here or use some of your scraps. And then I took some of these pieces and just layered them. So here's a banner and the circle and the Be Mermazing title, and it came with some of these banners here that I put here. And then I just glued down the sides so that my card could come in and out. You could glue that down or leave it, but it takes up a lot of this white space here and lets you use these flat embellishments. And it still will close. It's not too bulky, but it really dresses it up. And here's some more ideas for you. You can just see just a plain pattern on the back of a picture, really dresses it up. This is a 3x4 card, and so this is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, which is perfect for a 4x6 photo on the back, and I'll show you one of those. Or you can take your scraps, and I had 3 different scraps here that I lined up to make this really cute back of this card. And then you can also put a 3x4 photo here. So I'll show you the other example of that one. See, here's a 4x6 card, and then on the back is the 3x4 and another 3x4 picture. I think that's really cool. I love this, as mermaids are my spirit animal. So cool. There was some people on the cruise that said Maymay was their spirit animal, or Brenda, because Brenda likes to tear things and not use a paper trimmer all the time, and she doesn't let things bother her if they don't exactly line up. And then there were others that said that I was. Everything's meticulous and very clean and cut. But I think this one might be my favorite. You can hold a 6x8 picture on the back, which is kind of a cruise standard. And I used some of these scraps I had left over. So here again, I just kind of saw this was the right size scrap on the bottom. And I just added it 1 inch. And another piece here, and then I matted another 3x4 card, and it's just really, really pretty but simple on the back of a really great photo. And like I said, these are some photos from cruises in the past with my daughter, 2 different ages here. So that is it. Remember, if you want to win the last kit that I have from this cruise, please make sure you're a subscriber on this channel and go to my Facebook page and comment that you would like to win this, and you'll see a picture of this project. Thank you guys so much for the support. Have a good one.